Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is my honor to speak with you today. I am Dr. Diane from Too Soon to Stop, the How to Reinvent Yourself channel for anyone, but especially for those who have no desire to retire. After 30 years in emergency medicine, I now want to impact lives by helping others become the best version of themselves. This is something to be strive for but never acquired, as we always need to keep growing and changing, right? Well, let's begin today's lesson. Changing jobs often? This is a mistake, according to Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank. It is a red flag to the potential employers. They only take a few minutes to glance at all the applicants they receive initially and look for warning signs of someone that is not willing to commit to a long-term relationship. I know this may seem like a turnoff for some of you, but try and see it from the company's perspective. Hiring people is expensive. It takes personnel, time commitment, and decision-making for the company. They have to go through multiple applicants. In most cases, they do it so quickly that they eliminate candidates quickly when they see red flags. One of the biggest red flags is someone who has changed jobs frequently, like multiple jobs, each lasting for a few months over a 1 to 2 year period. Ruminate on this for a minute. Let's say you are considering getting involved in a romantic relationship with a love interest. Would you not think twice if this individual has a reputation of going from relationship to relationship, then talking badly about their previous beau behind their back? Unless you are totally having your head in the sand and are foolish enough to get involved with this individual, it is only a matter of time before you wind up yet another one of those crushed, heartbroken casualties. You know he or she uses the same lame excuse. It's me. It's not you. Individuals like this frequently have a lot of selfishness and self-interest without giving much thought to how their actions impact others. Do you really want to be another heartbroken notch in the belt of this human who goes through relationships like a hot knife through butter? They make a game of seeing how many suckers they can leave on the highway of love. In the same vein, your potential employer will see your frequent job changes as a danger sign. Yep, that's right. They will say, danger, 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 like that robot in that old TV sitcom Lost in Space from the 1960s. The would-be employer will conclude after seeing your frequent job changes that you are not willing to put forth your best effort to work out building a relationship in a win-win situation. They will reject your application with a big red reject stamp and move on to the next candidate for consideration. Another red flag is lambasting your former employer to your now prospective employer. Case in point, the so-called lover who goes from relationship to relationship after a brief period of time, leaving a trail of heartbroken individuals and then talking about their previous amours. Complaining about what a jerk everyone was at your previous job and how unfairly you were treated is no way to get into the good graces with a potential employer. I know things happen and maybe your former employer really was a jerk, but being highly critical of them to your potential employer is a very bad look for several reasons. Please do continue on to find out why. First of all, it shows that you are not willing to take any responsibility for why things did not work out and what went wrong. When there are two parties involved and none of us are perfect, there is just about always fault on both sides. Think of that romance-seeking, relationship-jumping human who does not stick around and try to work things out. They go from relationship to relationship, none lasting but for a few short weeks. They complain about how they were not able to continue the previous relationships from losing interest or to being treated unfairly. They make these and other statements to justify why they couldn't possibly continue on in the previous relationship. However, it is easy to see that there is a common denominator present in all these situations. What is the common feature? Wait for it. The common denomination is them or you. While all these jilted lovers most certainly have their faults as well, it is not 100% their fault and 0% this run around looking for romance lunatics. Similarly, criticizing multiple previous employers without taking personal responsibility is a bad look. Better plan is to simply state that it was not a good fit with a very plausible reason because life happens. Making statements such as couldn't work out schedule with your parental responsibilities or a family member got ill and you needed to devote more time to caregiving will appear believable and help you get through your interview process. Secondly, the company is really focused on their bottom line. Many people find fault with this, but think about it. Would you enter into a business relationship without considering all the possibilities for why this may or may not work out for you for your benefit? Why would the potential employer take a chance on someone who is not willing to stick around and at least try to put forth the effort to make things work? Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank recommends planning on at least a 2-year time commitment. That is why it is important that you think carefully about who you are trying to get into a working relationship with. Even more importantly, do your homework on the company. With social media being so abundant, it is easy to do research on any company today. Do not jump into a relationship with this company without thinking through carefully if it is a business that you want to be involved with for at least 2 years and avoid the red flag of frequent job changing that shows up on your resume. Thirdly, you may never know who knows who. Put your best foot forward during your interview process. By all means, do not burn bridges with your previous employer by putting them down with this potential employer. You never know when you are going to need someone to vouch for you. What if the two business managers are golf buddies or even worse, family members? Talk about egg on your face. There would be no recourse for you. Treat everyone with respect that you would want to be treated with yourself. Even during the interview process, if the company does not feel that you would be a great fit for them, they may recommend you for another position with another company in their network because you impressed them even though they did not hire you. So do you need to torment yourself with a less than satisfactory job to avoid this look of jumping from job to job? Not at all. The potential employer is simply looking for a pattern. When I was hired for my present job, my resume reflected a 3-month gap. I was asked about this gap. They wanted to know what I was doing during this 3-month hiatus. My explanation was that I wanted to take the summer off to spend quality time with my family because I was facing some burnout and needed some downtime. Because this was a plausible explanation and there were no other gaps, they hired me and I was never asked about this gap again. Now, because I have a dark sense of humor, my first thought in response to the gap question was, jail? Not a good look for a doctor, huh? Especially on an interview when you are supposed to be at your best behavior. So I didn't say jail, and decided instead to simply tell them the truth and move on, and I landed the job. This brings me to the all-important subject of respecting everyone. You never know who you will need in the future, nor do you know who can and will recommend you to someone known in their network. You could be hot dog today and dog food tomorrow. You just don't know. Sometimes we have prospective tenants showing up at one of our rental properties, and the applicant is mean and surly. They're hypercritical of everything, and they act as if they are God's gift to the tenant gods. Well, needless to say, we do not rent to them, nor would we recommend them to someone we know, even if it may help them because of their sour disposition. No one wants to work with that. Till next time, praying for your success and wishing you the very best.